I'm not exactly on the same page as Mark. And having 25 years of business background, I think that we policymakers are at a point where we have to look at Plan B or Plans B. But even with those Plans B, which have also been articulated by Ursula von der Leyen, I'm not sure that we should be talking about rupture. I think we should be talking about alternatives. We should be identifying much more so than we have probably in the past, the weaknesses, the sore points, the dependencies, the autonomy. But obviously, I take the view that from an economic and from a business point of view, we depend on each other. We have these very strong links and bind. Suppliers sometimes are in a position of strength. Demanders, if I look at supply and demands, have also a position of strength. And I think that all directions have to be explored. And my takeaway personally as a central bank president is that we have accountability to the truth. My economist often says, try to distinguish the signal from the noise. Well, I think we've had a lot of noise this week, and it's been a tremendously interesting and fascinating week from all perspectives. But our duty as central bankers, our duty as economists, is to distinguish the signals from the noise. And I would make one point, Andrew, if I may. We hear lots of numbers floating around. And I would just like to call your attention to the fact that numbers have to be defined, identified. When you hear, huge growth numbers, for instance, most of those numbers are nominal growth numbers. The real numbers are the real growth numbers. So when you hear 5% here, or 6%, or 7%, or 3%, in most instances, those are nominal numbers. You then have to take into account inflation and deflate those nominal numbers by the inflation. Then you get to the real numbers. This is one of the few things, I know it sounds a bit esoteric to the non-economist, but it's important to actually speak the truth. And that's one of my takeaway from here. We have to distinguish the signals from the noise. We have to be honest about the numbers that we use, and we rely on inflation expectations. We rely on the forecasts that are produced by our teams. We have to be honest when we publish, identify, communicate, and leverage on those numbers. There are lots of other issues that I could come to, but this is my takeaway at this point in time.